the way that Eugene High School calculates their cost of transportation to away events is by the cost per mile, which is $1.50 per mile. And they also have an hourly based on top of that, which is $15.22 an hour. We also do contracts, but it's not a salary pay. It's just the hourly pay on top of the cost per mile. And that is what our transportation bus drivers get for their pay. So what I did here was I took the boys basketball, their schedule right here, and I put up their game times. These are accurate game times, as well as their bus leave time. So after I did the bus leave time, I found how many miles it was to each of these games and calculated how many miles there and back the bus would be driving. And then I multiplied that by $1.50 per mile and got all of these totals here. Then I estimated the leave time. So, a basketball game would go probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. And if there's 2 games, I just estimated the bus leaving around these times after the games were over. And so then I just calculated how long that would take for the drive back, which would be half of these miles over here. And I got an estimated arrival back time to the school. And that would be the time that the bus driver would document and how many hours that he would have worked from bus leave time to arrival back. So the total drive time here in this column is how many minutes he drove, and I added that to his or her leave time and arrival back time, which got the total hours over here in this column. I took the total hours that they worked and I multiplied that by $15.22 per hour, and I've got these totals. So then I went back in and I used the sum formula, and I added the total miles, the cost per mile over here, all these totals to their corresponding total for $15 per hour. And I got these totals over here. So this is how much each trip, each trip would cost for a bus driver to drive the team there and back to an away game. Now, I did notice that with tournaments and games that are farther away, the payment was higher, which makes sense because the farther you drive, the more time it takes, the more you get paid, and also the more miles, so that means there's more cost per mile as well. I also just took the time and did the grand totals down here in blue just to see what it would cost for the entire season, and it came out to be about $1,100 for a basketball season, a boys basketball season. I also did the girls volleyball season here in pink, and I did the same exact calculations. I did, the game times, the bus leave, and the leave site, arrival back. I calculated total miles. I multiplied all these by 2 to get the there and back. I got the cost per mile total right here in this column. And then I did the total drive time in minutes plus the leave time and arrival back, and got the total hours that bus driver worked, $15.22 per hour multiplied by the corresponding hours. And I got the subtotals. I also did the grand totals down here in the bottom in pink. And that is how I determined the cost of transportation for Eugene High School.